Regarding the rhythm of the year around Christmas and the winter solstice, we are in the most liminal period. It's a timeless space. The 12 holy nights, from Christmas Eve to January 6th, the veil is very thin and you can gain spiritual insight and you can set the tone for your entire year within the span of these 12 days and nights. And so it's a really sacred time, and I'm grateful for this pause. And it has me thinking about why living in rhythm is so beneficial. And that leads me to the difference between ether as the polarized force that animates our life body, and we have electricity, which is fallen or decaying ether, according to Rudolf Steiner. So it actually has a destructive effect, and Steiner actually considers electricity and electromagnetism to be manifestations of evil, and he calls them subnature. When Steiner speaks of evil, he's speaking of things that are happening not in their right time. So Steiner would say that the technology that we have, the capabilities that are coming to us, it's happening too fast. And so he would say that the hindering beings, Ahriman and Lucifer, and in particular our tech is, of course there's Luciferic qualities, but it's highly Ahrimanic, running on electromagnetism, giving us all these powers that we aren't ready for. He would say that those hindering beings give us these powers as a means of making us not interested in the spiritual world. And so it's sort of like a Faustian initiation. It's interesting because ether and electricity and electromagnetism are both polarized forces, but one is good, one is helpful, one is our life body, and the other one is drags us down, right? Binds us to materiality. And we feel that when we use our device for too long. So what's going on here? Well, Ernst Lehrs, who was a student of Rudolf Steiner, who wrote an amazing book called Man or Matter, which you should definitely get. There's a chapter in there called Radiant Matter, and it's all about electricity and electromagnetism. And he points out that in the etheric polarities, the opposites evolve into each other in a gradual, rhythmic way. Think about waking and sleeping, how you're not just one moment awake and then boom, you drop, you fall down and fall asleep. No, you gradually transition from waking to sleeping, and then you gradually wake back up. And your inhalation just doesn't automatically become your exhalation. There's a flow, there's a transition between the different parts of the breath. And then you can contrast that with electricity and electromagnetism, in which you have the negative and positive poles simultaneously referencing each other at all times. So it's this chaotic back exchange that we can't even really fathom. We aren't prepared to handle it. And so it kind of stirs us up, and it excites us when we have the power to go online and see somewhere in the world that's hundreds of thousands of miles away, or to ask any question and have it answered immediately in our fingertips. This is the power that comes from electricity and electromagnetism, and it's dazzling until it isn't, until it, breaks us down and overwhelms us. And so there's something about rhythm that is associated with wisdom, the wisdom of the human being. Anthroposophy thrives on rhythm. And so perhaps, since we can't get away from using our technology, and nor should we probably, because then we would be leaving our fellow human beings out to dry. What if, instead of trying to abstain from using tech, which is pretty much impossible these days given that our economy is hardwired into the internet, what if we used our devices with the lights on in a rhythmic way? If you found this information interesting and helpful, I'd be super grateful if you liked the video and subscribed to my channel. Thank you.